Hey there, students. This is Sister Mills. I'm back again here. I'm going over the persuasive essay writing assignment for our class. There's a few things I want to show you in this video. I'm going to show you this graphic to help explain the organization and the breakdown of assignments for this writing assignment. And then I'm going to go over the writing assignment description as well as the rubric and go over a couple sample persuasive essays that I have. So back to this little graphic here. We've already completed the love letter, the This I Believe essay, and the critical thinking essay. So you can see both of those, all three of those were done in 2 weeks. And you can reflect back to your experiences with that. And just, I wanted to point out these last two essays are different. And this throws a lot of students off. That's why I want to talk about it right off the bat on this video. So week 8, this is the week we're in, the outline is due for the persuasive essay. Week 9, the rough draft is due for the persuasive essay, and then week 10 is when the final draft is due. Now, don't let this throw you off. The reason that we do this is because we really want you to have experience planning your essay and using the time to plan an outline. And this typically helps students to plan the organization of their paragraphs as well as have enough time to complete this writing assignment because it is a little bit longer. The other three were only 1 to 2 pages. These last two are going to be a little bit longer than that. So this is going to give you more time to refine and edit and plan your essay. And then you'll notice the personal essay, which won't start until week 11. That is a 3-week assignment as well, with the outline and then the rough draft and then the final draft. So I hope that helps explain the organization of that. I hope it doesn't throw you off too much, but please take the extra time to really make a great essay and meet all the requirements for the essay. Coming over here, I'm just in the lesson 8. This is for the outline, but it explains the whole writing assignment. So basically the persuasive essay, you're going to go to the Procon website or think of a topic that is debatable, that something that there's two sides to the issue, okay? And try to identify which side you are on and what your viewpoint is on this topic, and then you're going to write an essay about that. The purpose of this essay is to help your readers see your viewpoint, and this is really an important thing to know how to an important writing skill to appeal to your reader and help them understand your viewpoint, especially nowadays. There's so many controversial issues. Letting people know your viewpoint is a really great skill. And so you can see here, this is 2 to 3 pages, and so that's an added page. So that's why we have that extended time period for you to complete this assignment. If you're going over 3 pages, be very cautious, okay? Concise writing is a skill that we really want to help you develop in this class. I know with this type of essay, it's kind of hard to stick with 3 pages for some of you. If you do go over, please let me know. And just so you know, if it's over 1 page over, if that makes sense, then you will get points docked off. So the maximum amount that I'd recommend would be 4 pages. But sticking within that 2 to 3 pages really is not going to overwhelm you, and it's really going to give you enough space to thoroughly explain your persuasive essay. The same requirements for the past 3 essays, so I'm not going to go over those. The rubric here, you'll notice that this one's out of 200 points. So this is quite a bit more for your overall grade. This last section is about the grammar, mechanics, and formatting. That's the same as it always has been. Popping up here to the top, the thesis, there's 40 points dedicated to your thesis. So please take the time to write a great thesis. I've provided a thesis generator for you as well as a thesis checklist. Hopefully both of those things will help you come up with that thesis. And your essay really should be thesis driven. So you introduce the thesis in that introduction paragraph, and then all the body paragraphs should be supporting that thesis and relating back to it. Um, this second part is about that support that I was just explaining. The support has reasons, examples, facts, case studies, personal experience, other evidence in the body paragraphs that really support that thesis. This section is 40 points. It goes over the introduction paragraph as well as the conclusion paragraph. I've explained this before. This should be like a hamburger where the beginning, the introduction has that thesis, a really strong introduction to the essay. The body is the meat of the essay, showing the examples, the reasons why this thesis is good, and then the conclusion just reiterates everything that's been said and really emphasizes that thesis to close off. This section is about focus and organization. This has to do with organizing your paragraphs, organizing your thoughts within those paragraphs. Really, a logical organization of your essay is the best way to go. And a lot of students struggle with the transitions portion of this rubric, and so that's what I'm going to talk about a little bit in the examples that I have. But I did just want to point out there's 3 examples here, as well as in the lesson 8. Um, what's it called? Announcement, excuse me. There, I provide a few other examples. So you have plenty of examples to look through. Use this rubric. Make sure you're referring back to this to make sure you're hitting all of those criteria for your final draft. Okay, now jumping over here to, this is a student example. Neither of the student examples I provide, or none of them for this whole class, none of them are perfect, okay? There's always ways to improve. I do show you these because I want to have you see the positive things they're doing, the really great skills they're demonstrating in this essay, as well as the things they can work on, and hopefully that will help you as well. This essay, I love this strong thesis. It's in a great location, right here at the end of that introduction paragraph, perfectly leading us into the meat of the essay and the reasons, the support. Um, Here in this essay, or in this paragraph, I mentioned that this sentence would make a great topic sentence for this paragraph. So I want to clarify what that is. The first sentence in each paragraph, in each body paragraph, should be considered the topic sentence for that paragraph. So if you look at this example, this sentence is in the middle, and that's kind of her whole point of this paragraph. But I mentioned that this might make a great topic sentence, so I encouraged her to move it to the front of this, or the beginning of this paragraph. Um, Let's see. Down here, you can see that I added that she needs a transition. As you're reading through this example, you might read this paragraph, and then once you start reading this paragraph, at least for me, I felt like I was reading a whole new essay, or that the topic just jumped clear across the board to this other idea. And while both ideas do support the thesis, it's really important that you help your reader have a smooth transition from one part to the next so that they're not like, wait a second, how does this even tie in? So I added that there. I also added that she could use another transition here. She had some great examples, and then another great conclusion down here. And this is a good example of an essay kind of zooming out and showing the reader the bigger picture and why their thesis and their viewpoint is important. Here's another great example. Here's one that had some other issues, some formatting issues, but also had some great word choices, had a very clear and strong thesis here. And you can go through these examples on your own. This one has some great examples of transitions. This one is excellent. It says many teachers already agree with this idea. So this is referring back to something that the reader has already read, as well as introducing the next part of that, which I thought was a great transition. He has some great word choices in this essay. This is a part where he needed a transition, and so I pointed that out for him. Here's an example of a good transition. This is him introducing an opposing argument and then refuting that opposing argument. And so that's an example of how to use the opposing viewpoint to actually strengthen your argument. And that's all I really wanted to show you. One thing I also wanted to point out, which is really important, so I hope you guys are still watching. I know this is kind of a long one, is logical fallacies. In the critical thinking essay as well as the persuasive essay, I always have a couple students who fall victim of using logical fallacies. So I just did a quick Google search here for you, and you can do this on your own as well. Purdue OWL has a good list of logical fallacies here, and you may have heard of some of these. There's the slippery slope, hasty generalization, post hoc, genetic fallacy, begging the claim, circular argument, and there's tons. There are so many logical fallacies. But I wanted to point this out because logical fallacies, while sometimes when you're arguing with maybe a sibling or a spouse or something or a child, sometimes we just use logical fallacies to prove our point, to say I'm right, and then the opposing viewpoint doesn't can't really say anything else because of that fallacy that we've used. But in a persuasive essay or a professional document, it's really important that we avoid logical fallacies because they actually take away from the validity of your argument. And so every time I'm reading an essay that has a logical fallacy, my heart just sinks, and I'm just like, oh, everything you've said up to this point just is kind of lost to this logical fallacy. So familiarize yourself with these, and especially if I pointed out a logical fallacy in your critical thinking essay, make sure that you fix that and avoid those in that persuasive essay. So I hope that this video